Hey guys, welcome back to Throwing Wrenches Garage. I'm Tom.
And I'm Declan.
And we're both squinting into the sun because it's we got some bright morning sun here. So let's tell you what we're doing today. We are dealing with the weird curveball that typical New England weather is sending us, because today around, what is it now? It's about 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday right now, and about 3 o'clock, so in about 5 hours, it's supposed to start snowing, and then it's not going to stop until tomorrow morning, and it's going to leave us with like a foot of snow.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully to you. But right now, it's like 40 degrees. It's actually pretty pleasant. There's no wind. It's very sunny, and it's warm enough that I think I can get the garage up to a warm enough temperature that we can actually paint the motor. So we're trying to strip this thing down. We're going to clean it. The spray gunk stuff, we're going to strip it down and clean it right now, hopefully, and get it clean enough that we can wheel it back in the garage, leave it for a couple of hours to warm up, get some engine paint, and spray this thing. What color did you want it?
Black.
Black. Declan wants it black, so we'll go black. So we've got the motor out here. We've got the aluminum intake, and we've got the water pump. We're gonna clean all of this stuff, hose it all down with some engine degreaser, the heavy duty stuff.
He said duty.
I did say duty. So we're gonna spray it all down with the gel stuff, and then we are going to take some various brushes and scrubbers and really just try to hack at everything here and try to get as much of the grease and the grime and the old paint off of this thing as we can. We're not going to get too anal retentive. This thing is not going to SEMA. We're not doing anything crazy with it, but I would like to get as much of the gunk off as possible. So before we got to this point, last night I went and taped off the valley here, just to make sure that we're not going to get any sort of crazy gunk inside of here. We're not going to go at this with a high pressure hose today. We're just going to spray the gel in here and scrub. So hopefully we're not going to violate this too much. We haven't replaced any gaskets yet. I'm going to do that after we paint. Okay. I don't like putting new gaskets on and then spray painting those. I feel like the paint kind of mars up the gaskets, and that bothers me. So we're going to paint first, then gaskets. That's the current plan. So with that, let's get at this. All right, so what we're using is we're using the stuff from Gunk. This is their engine degreaser. You can just walk in front of the camera there. That's cool. And back again. That's nice. Mm-hmm. This is their Gunk's engine degreaser. This is their heavy duty gel. They've got like 3 different kinds. Their original, then they've got a foaming one, and then they've got the heavy duty gel. This is the stuff that's like the nastiest, I guess. Allegedly. So this is the stuff that's supposed to be the heaviest duty. And since I'm looking to sort of strip paint where we can, I figured this is the best one to go with. This engine's actually not in terrible shape in terms of its dirtiness. So technically I don't think we have to go here, but we're gonna. So what we want to do is spray this stuff on. Well, sort of, I'll take half, you take half. We're gonna get onto the intakes as well. But I can kind of handle that stuff. We don't want to go inside the engine where there are holes. So try to kind of avoid that stuff.
Go in the engine.
Don't go in the engine. We don't really have to do the valve covers. Those are really on here to sort of protect the rest of the engine, but you don't have to worry about them either.
Why?
It's okay if we get it on here, so like...
why are we doing it? Is that different?
I wasn't really planning on stripping these. I was planning on getting you a different set of these. I mean, we can run the motor with them for now, but I was planning on getting a different set of these. So. we got some wire brushes. Just kind of get in here and scrape wherever we can. Remove the loose stuff. Not time to hose anything off yet, just work this stuff in. So I had painted this thing while it was in the car. Just like, actually Declan helped me.
I helped, yeah.
Yeah, we just did it with
tiny hands.
like a brush, basically. It was one of those projects where it's like, let's just do what we can and make it a little nicer. It kind of worked.
I'm being really confused because why do you want to color, like willingly color your engine orange?
Well, orange was the original color. So Chevy made all their engines orange. It was Chevy engine orange. So that was the color it would have come from as a factory color. So that was the idea. The only reason I'm not painting the blueprint engine is because it has aluminum heads, and I don't like the look of painting aluminum heads.
And it's already really pretty.
It looks pretty cool as it is, yeah. So we're going to leave that. And some of this old paint is coming off like really easy. Like on the back. Oh, it sounds gross.
It's sloshing around.
Yeah, yeah, it's got like a sloppy sloshing sound. Nasty.
Mom said we might go snowshoeing tomorrow. If
you get enough snow. So we've got some property out behind the house, some woods, and that abuts to some conservation land. So when it snows a lot and we get a bunch of snow, we can go snowshoeing back there. But the question will be, do we have enough snow to do that? Because
we've only gone like once.
We've got no snow back there right now, so you need a fair amount of snow before you can do that. And I don't know if one snowfall, even in the 10 or 12 inch range, is going to do it, but we'll see.
Negative Nelly.
Yeah, I just don't want to make anybody get their hopes up and then get them dashed. Some of the places where we got the paint on really nice, it's not coming off.
Yeah. You got a thing for that tool, or are we stuck?
Like a scraper. I don't have one handy. I think it's in the bins in the basement, and I kind of don't feel like searching for it. Although I have a razor blade tool we could probably try. right, so that gets us to a good pause point here because we're all hosed off. Now we can let stuff dry out a little bit, including us. It's a good point to sweep out the garage, which I'll get to do. And now we're gonna leave everything out here to dry off a little bit. It's not gonna get warm enough outside for us to paint, so we'll definitely have to be going inside to paint. So we'll let this stuff sit out here, bake in the sun, dry out a little bit. In the meantime, I'll clean up some stuff in the garage, get the floors swept up, go out and get some of the engine paint for this. And then we'll come back once the garage is warmed up to like 65 or so. And then we'll wheel this back in and we'll hit it with some spray paint. Sound good?
Yeah.
And this thing will look all black and pretty.
And not orange and ugly.
And not orange and ugly. And we can start spraying that thing too. And that's gonna look pretty cool when it's hit with the aluminum glass paint. I think you're gonna like that when it's looking all aluminum and sitting on top of here. When this is black, it'll look awesome.
Okay.
So, all right. So we'll see you guys in what'll be seconds for you, but probably like an hour or two for us. So magic of editing. Yeah. See you there. All right.
That feels appropriated.
I feel, yeah, that was, it started funny and then it felt slightly inappropriate.
Like with the,
It wasn't supposed to be inappropriate. It got there, but that's not what it was supposed to be. All right, so you are supposed to shake, any spray paint, you're supposed to shake for at least a minute before you spray. We have got the temperature in here up to 65 now. I think we're at 66. So we're at the levels where we need to be able to spray. Before we spray, we're gonna kick that door open just a little bit. You still have the heaters going. Just a little, we don't want to open out too much. So here's what we're gonna do. Declan's gonna spray the motor. What we got was some Duplicolor engine paint. This is in semi-gloss black, because that's what we talked about getting, right? They didn't really have satin, so we got semi-gloss. So we're gonna go and spray. We're not gonna worry about the valve covers. And when I say we're not gonna worry about them, it actually means we're literally, like, don't worry about getting any paint on them, but we don't wanna put paint on them if we can avoid it.
okay.
And the same thing with the oil pan, you don't have to go that low. We're also not gonna worry about back here. Like inside here, this is not going to be seen. This is gonna be inside the transmission. So this you wanna cover, but this you don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do we need to care about the spark plugs?
Nope.
Okay, so I can just go crazy.
Yeah, the expectation is they will be covered. So, can I show you? Actually, let me try to explain it to you because that's easier. What I would try to do is, you're doing the right motion, you're kind of whipping it. So what I would try to do is be smoother, try to do across, across, across. Like go all the way across, all the way across, all the way across, and try to overlap your layers. Yep. Yep, you can move a little bit slower. Yep. And then keep on moving. When I say overlap, can I see 1 second? You want to do And now move down a little. And now move down a little. But every time you want to make sure you're overlapping what you just did up a little bit. Okay. Does that make sense?
Like mowing a lawn?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
And you can see how you're going to have to go like at different angles. So when you come back for different layers, for different coats, you'll just have to spray at a different angle when you come back for the next coat to make sure that you covered the places you didn't get on the first go around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ready to work? I got in there.
Yep, you can get in there. That's the motor mount, so you don't have to worry about hitting, like you don't have to coat it, but you don't have to worry about hitting it either.
Wow.
Can you come back, and I just want you to see an angle. Come back and look at this angle and see here how it's not hit.
Like there or right there?
Right. This surface right here, you can see it's white.
Oh, yeah.
That's with a surface like this where there's so many different angles, that's what becomes important, is just kind of studying it from every angle to see what you've missed and how you have to go at it from like different angles and perspectives to get it all. You might even be able to go like underneath, yeah, hit it from a low angle. There you go. Don't get drippy.
Yeah.
And that big orange area in here, right?
No.
There you go. Thank you, Captain Obvious. There you go. Nice. Yeah, good. You caught it. So once you've got coverage, then you can take like 15 minutes as a break.
Okay.
So this paint is Alumablast. Seymour makes it. It's probably the best stuff that I've found for actually looking like cast aluminum. I've used it before, just not on stuff this big. This is a tough thing to paint because it's got so many different little outcroppings and recesses. It's a decent coat. I think this is going to look good when it's on the black motor, don't you?
I hope so.
Now, so for anyone who is worried about the fact that we're not paying much attention to these valve covers and that we're getting paint all over them, don't fret too much. So before we started the channel last spring, I painted these. So these came with the car when I got the Chevelle. These were on there and they were just tired and plain aluminum. And I took them off and wire wheeled them and carefully sort of cared for them and sanded them back and got them cleaned up, masked the crap out of them, and then painted them with this orange. They got all chewed up. I didn't put in a primer, which I probably should have, and they got chewed up and beaten up. So they really need to be redone again. So I'm going to have to go through and put a paint stripper on them and strip them all down and then figure out what to do to them. My buddy Mike, Mystery Mike, who you guys have seen on our engine pulls, has recently got himself into powder coating. So he's got some powder coating stuff. So I may end up working with him and figuring out how we powder coat these, because I think these would look cool if maybe we could do like a crinkle coat. So that might be in the cards for these, or maybe I just paint them with a crinkle coat. But they will get redressed. We will do something different with these, but that will be in time to come. Right now, we're not worried about it. So right now, these are really just masking devices. So don't worry about it. They're not going to hell. We're not ruining them, but they will get cared for in a future episode. All right, so we're all set for now. The weather is inbound.
Now it's 5, it says.
Oh, 5 o'clock?
Yeah, it used to be
All right.
12, then it was 3, now it's 5.
Oh, we got a reprise. A delay? Relief? I don't know. We got something. It's later.
I think it's reprise.
But it's still coming, so we do have to get this thing tucked into a corner. it's it's still tacky. This stuff isn't dry yet, but dried enough so that we were able to take all the tape off and be able to give you the walk around to view it. It still looks kind of goofy with these valve covers on there, so we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with the valve covers. I think Declan and I are going to put our heads together and come up with something. Because I do like these valve covers. They're pretty cool. It'd be neat to really reuse them, but they need a new treatment for us to be able to use them. So we'll figure that out and get to something. But this is a pretty easy task if you've got the motor out, guys, to be able to do for yourselves, to be able to clean it up and to throw a coat of paint on it and to get it looking pretty new. And I would definitely advise spraying these intakes because it definitely made it look pretty brandy new, right? I mean, it looks a lot better than it was, and it ought to stay that way for considerably longer. So all in all, I consider this one to be a success, and now it gets us lined up for the place where we can start changing out seals and gaskets on the engine, which is what I was worried about. All of this stuff that we've been doing is in an effort to get this thing ready to go into the IROC. I really want to get this thing buttoned up so that we can at least threaten to put this into the IROC. And then we've still got a bunch of other things that we need to be able to do to the Camaro to get it running. So some of that stuff we'll do off camera and some of that stuff we're going to do on camera. But for now, I consider this to be a pretty good task done and a pretty good use of weather working in our favor. In the wintertime here in New England, taking advantage of a kind of freakishly warm day to get something done that we normally couldn't. So until next time, we'll figure out what we're going to do for next week. I still don't know yet. Well, like weather will play a role in that, I'm sure, and we'll figure it out. But until next time, guys, keep on throwing wrenches, and we'll see you next week.